The major European club hockey competition, the Champions Hockey League, returned last week, or the week just gone indeed. If you listened to the last podcast episode, I previewed all of the round of 16 matchups. And the knockout competition phase of the Champions Hockey League season this year is for the round of 16, quarterfinals and semi-finals. They are home and away legs for both teams, with an aggregate score deciding the winner. If the teams are level at the end of the second leg on aggregate score, it goes to overtime and then to a shootout. So the first legs in the 8 matchups took place on Tuesday and Wednesday this week, and there was plenty of drama, some really good games, just as we expected, plenty of drama to look at. We start with a bizarre situation and what do you even call it for Lahti Pelicans? So Finland's Lahti Pelicans hosting Vitkovic at Riedera, and it was a total disaster for the home team. We're about 11 minutes or so into the game at the Isku Arena in Lahti, and unfortunately the officials had to make a call because there were issues with the ice. The officials stopped the game. They tried to find a way to fix the problems with the ice surface, but they were unable to do so. So the game had to be postponed. It was cancelled. And unfortunately, if it's a league game, maybe you would get away with it. Maybe you could find somewhere in the schedule to try and redo it, but not in knockout competition, not the Champions Hockey League. So the only thing that could happen, as per the regulations, was for Vitkovic of Riedera to be awarded a 3-0 victory. And that puts Lahti Pelicans in a real hole, heading out for the second leg. So the return game of the matchup takes place on Tuesday. That is Tuesday 21st. It's a 6 p.m. start time, Central European time in Ostrava in the Czech Republic. Vitkovic lead it 3-0 because of the forfeit win. Lahti Pelicans with it all to do to try and get back into the tie. Whoever does come through that one will face the winner of the tie between Adler Mannheim and Rapperswil Jona Lakers. Now, this was first against 16th when it comes to the seedings, when it comes to the rankings. Adler Mannheim, top seed, Rapperswil Jona Lakers, 16th seed. So, of course, you know what was going to happen. Yes, Rapperswil came out on top 4-1 in the first leg. In Rapperswil, Jordan Schroeder and Lyndon Fay traded goals before Gianmarco Vetter broke the 1-1 tie with less than 3 minutes to go in the first period. There were no goals in the second, and then 4.5 minutes into the third period, Jordan Schroeder got his second of the night to make it 3-1. But the big moment came at the end of the game. There was about 1 minute 40 left on the clock. The experienced German goaltender Felix Bruckmann played it behind his own net, but it got intercepted by Victor Rask, dished it out in front to Martin Frick, who slammed it home past a despairing dive of Bruckmann. So a really big goal. 3-1 is a deficit that you can... It's a deficit, but, it's only one goal and you're right back in it. A 3-goal lead for Rapperswil is a big, big lead, and that goal could be the turning point in this tie. We will see. It does now go to Mannheim for the game on Tuesday. It's a 6:30 UK time, I think, 7:30 Central European. So all to do for Adler Mannheim. They are down 4-1, which is not what you expected. You expected Adler to at least hold serve on the road and then probably ease through by a couple of goals in the second leg, but they now trail by 3 goals and really are going to have to come out firing to get anywhere in this tie and try to rescue it. Now, we do know 4-1 down, if they can get a couple of goals early in the first period, then it becomes a completely different task, but they need to do that. They need to come out quick, and Rapperswil go in there. I mean, they are in dreamland, 4-1 up from the first leg. Yes, they know it's going to be a battle in Mannheim, but they've given themselves every chance of getting through, upsetting the form books, upsetting the seedings, and making it through to the quarterfinals. Can they do it? We'll find out on Tuesday. Next up, we had the Swedish Hockey League leaders Färjestad taking on BLBN. And it was 5 goals on the road for Färjestad as they beat BLBN 5-3. Victor Ejdsell, the 6'5" forward, scored twice in this one after getting 4 points in 3 games for Sweden in the Euro Hockey Tour event the weekend before. Damian Brunner chested one in to make it 2-2 for BLBN of Ejdsell's first. But then Ejdsell was back out in front of net again. Such a big presence, got big wingspan. Really did well there on the power play to restore Färjestad's lead within just a minute. And that felt like a big turning point in the game. For BLBN to level, to make it 2-2. They got back in it. Tails were up. For Färjestad to then hit back within a minute to re-grab the lead, to regain the lead indeed. Yeah, that was a blow for BLBN. Then we had defenseman August Thunberg, who stepped forward at the end of the second period to make it 4-2. Mikael Linkfors scored early in the third period to make it 5-2. But credit to BLBN, they kept going and they got a power play goal through Alexander Yakovenko to at least draw within 2 goals. So BLBN, they trailed by 2 heading to Sweden. That is a difficult task, there's no doubt about it. And they always knew it would be against a very good Färjestad team. But that goal gives them a sniff. 2 goals down is achievable. It's not over just yet. And the interesting thing really when watching back, I watched some of it live and then watched back the highlights. You had Harry Sartori and Max Lagasse in goal, 2 quality goalies, 2 quality experienced goalies, conceded 8 between them. They did put off plenty of good saves as well, but the offense was on top in this one. Färjestad lead it 5-3, heading home to Karlstad. You would definitely expect them to hold on and to get through to the quarterfinals, but BLBN, that goal to make it 5-3 just gives them a sniff, doesn't it? The other part of this bracket is Ochelari Trinec and Skellefteå, the Swedish team. A wild game in Trinec. And Trinec got a late winner to head into the return leg 4-3 up. So Trinec had a 2-0 lead and a 3-1 lead, and they let both of them slip. And it looked like being a very frustrating night for the home team. At 2-0 up, Libor Hudacek had a breakaway, fantastic save by Gustav Lindvall in net. Then Skellefteå went right back up the other end and scored on a rush to make it 2-1. Trinec thought they'd got themselves in a nice, comfortable position again when they took a 3-1 lead early in the third period through Daniel Korowski's goal, but then Skellefteå got back into it within 90 seconds again to make it 3-2. And then with less than 8 minutes to go, they got called a too many men on ice penalty. Did Trinec. Dylan Sakura took advantage with a power play goal to make it 3-3. The puck bounced off the defender. It was unlucky for Ochelari Trinec. But Libor Hudacek was able to give Trinec a narrow lead with just 4 minutes to go. Wide open at the back post. He was able to slot it home. So the second leg now is in Sweden. Trinec 4-3 up. Again, they've given themselves a good chance. Skellefteå playing pretty well of late, but they're down and they've got to make home ice count if they're going to get through, potentially to set up an all-Swedish tie in the quarterfinal against Färjestad, but that should be a good one. Second leg in Sweden, Trinec lead it 4-3 over Skellefteå. In my preview last week, I tipped Ilves Tampere against Pardubice to be a real dark horse candidate for match of the week, and it almost lived up to that bidding. I'm not sure. It was a bit cagey at some point, so maybe it didn't quite live up to that. But Dynamo Pardubice got a very impressive 3-1 win on the road at Nokia Arena against the Finnish team and give themselves a great chance of making it a double nightmare for Tampere, with Tappara Tampere, the reigning CHL champions, already being knocked out. Ilves trying to fly in the flag for Tampere, and they could go out here. Pardubice a 3-1 up. Ilves' Philly Meskanen got a one-time to open the score in halfway through the first period on the power play. But Pardubice were able to draw level late in the period through Lucas Radil. Tomas Soronen made it 2-1. 1 minute 35 into the second period. Great shot right up into the top corner. No chance on that one. But then Radil got his second goal of the night to make it 3-1. Really good stuff from Dynamo Pardubice. Ilves did push incredibly hard in the third period, but you have to give credit to Pardubice. They They were certainly bending at points. It looked like they were going to crack, but they bended without breaking. Goaltender Roman Veal, 24 saves from 25 shots. So Dinamo Pardubice somewhat against what you would have expected going into the game, and in some ways slightly against the run of play over the 60 minutes. But Dinamo Pardubice lead this tie 3-1, and it now goes back to their place with a great chance for them to qualify for the quarter-finals. Another tie that is very finely poised is the one between Luko Rauma and Innsbruck. It's finally poised at 2-2 after the first leg. You have to say Luko Rauma, the Finnish team, will be a little disappointed because they gave up a 2-0 lead. It is at least softened a little bit by the fact that the second leg is taking place at their home ice next Wednesday. So that is Wednesday 22nd. So they've got a chance to not worry about that. Tyres level, they can go on and try and win it at home. The game really revolved around the two teams' top lines. So for Luko Rauma, that was Braden Burke, Julius Matila as their captain, and Sebastian Repo. And for Innsbruck, that's Braden Shaw, Corey Mackin and Gordon Green. 2 goals in the first for Luko Rauma. Burke finishing off a lovely move set up by Mattia and Repo. And then Repo made it 2 on an assist by Burke. But then the big turning point came when Innsbruck got on a score sheet with 17 seconds to go in the second period. Braden Shaw fired a puck home to make it 2-1, and they completed the comeback with just over 5 minutes to go on a lovely move. Green to Mackin to Shaw for his second of the night. So 2-2, finally poised. Let's see what those top lines, will it be the top lines that win it for either team, will make the difference in the second leg? Or would it be someone else? Maybe someone from the bottom 6 stepping up and making the difference. We will see, but it should be a good one. Luko Rauma against Innsbruck on Wednesday, all to play for with that tie at 2-2. The final part of the bracket, the final 2 matchups, began with Red Bull Munich and Genève Servette. That was the German champions and the Swiss champions coming together. Now, Munich lead this one 3-2, but Daniel Winnick's late goal for Genève keeps them firmly in the tie as they head back home for the second leg. There were shots aplenty in this one. 32 on net for Munich, 46 in total, and 37 shots by Genève, although only 18 of them actually went on net. Munich got off to the perfect start. They scored twice in under a minute. Nicholas Kramer on 4 minutes 58, and then Chris de Sousa 32 seconds later. It was scoreless then until nearly 8 minutes into the third period when Sakari Mananin got Genève on the board. Ben Smith hit back for München to get that 2-goal lead back, but Vinek's goal at the end may make all the difference. Just 1 goal between them as they head to Switzerland, and there's a big contribution, it has to be said. Goal scorers always get the attention, always get the headlines, of course, but Genève's goaltender Robert Meyer, fantastic, especially in the first and second period. Munich should have taken the game away from Genève Servette, but Meyer was fantastic in there. Save after save, some real stunners there. He has kept him in this tie. And you would still look at it and think Munich have got quite a lot going for them. They have the lead, they take the lead to Switzerland, so they will still be confident, but at the same time, it's just a 1-goal lead. Genève Servette could well turn this tie around in the second leg. And finally, the winner of that tie will face the winner of Vecchia Lakers and Ingolstadt. And it does look, as the form book would suggest, it does look like Sweden's Vecchia are likely to go through in this one. They lead 4-1 after the first game. Goals by Tobias Rieder and Gabriel Carlson gave the Swedish team a 2-0 lead at the end of the first period. Terrible luck for the home team actually on the opener. Rieder flicked the puck up from behind the net. It hit the defender and went in. So it was a bit of a weekend of crazy goals, in fact. Ingolstadt did hit back early in the second period. Daniel Pieta scoring after 35 seconds. A lovely spin pass from Travis St. Denis on that one. But Vecchia added goals from Victor Juan Bore, I think it is, and who is a 4th round 2021 pick of the Chicago Blackhawks. And Dylan McLaughlin also scored, so that means Vecchia have a 4-1 lead after a scoreless third period. So 3-goal lead for the Swedes. They head back home. Ingolstadt will go there in hope rather than expectation. Let's be honest, Vecchia, a very strong team with a 3-goal cushion at home. You have to think they're going to get through, but stranger things have happened in sports. Stranger things have happened in hockey. So Ingolstadt will go there and trying to pull off a major upset. But those are the 8 ties. That's where they are. All of them relatively close. Vecchia, I think you would say, very likely to go through, heading back home with a 4-1 lead. The rest of them, Rapperswil's 4-1 lead, you have to say, should be enough, but we know how good Adler Mannheim is. And if Mannheim can start getting some goals early in that game, it's really going to put the pressure on Rapperswil. So that could turn around. That's the one where there could be a big switch round after the first leg. And of course, Lahti Pelicans and Vitkovice having the 3-0 lead because of the forfeit. What does that do to the psyche of Lahti Pelicans going into this one? They're not having a great season in the domestic league. They've had a big blow, nothing to do with the players or the coaches. Can they turn this one round? It would be a hell of an effort if they can. Certainly the odds are against them, but look out for that one. Lahti Pelicans trying to get themselves out of a hole dug by ice issues.